Hello everyone, this is Dr. Abdul. Today we will continue talking about layers. If you would like to watch part 1, I will list the link in the description below. And today we need to talk about layers. Here we do have several features, advanced things that we will talk about. Also, we will talk about the group and filter and layer state. So let's get started. At the beginning, I opened this drawing, the sample floor plan from AutoCAD. And here, if you go to the Home tab, you will notice that we have tons of layers. And it is hard to manage layers when we have a lot. So the best way is to filter, to group, or to learn the advanced tools. Let's see what we can do. If you click on this little arrow, you have this pin. You can pin the layers properties here, and as you notice here, we do have several tools. Let's talk about each one of them. The first one we have, if you hover over it, you will see the description as well, and it's very important to learn that, so if you forget what it is, so you know. So from the description here, this tool here turn off the layer of a selected object. Then you select this tool, so that will turn off the layer of the selected object. So let's turn this. As you see here, I can turn off any layer as I'm selecting, and this is what it does. Now, if you finish selecting, you can hit enter and exit that. If you need to get them back, you click the one underneath. So this one will turn on all layers back again. So the first one you selected, then you can hide, turn off, or then you can bring them back. Now let's see the second one, which is isolate. Let's click on isolate, and isolate will hide or lock all layers except those of the selected object. So let's see what does that mean. You click on that. Let's isolate, for example, this layer and this layer. Hit enter, and you see that only these two layers are out and the rest are locked. So this is isolated. And now if I copy this, Control C, then Control V, I just copied the part that I want because I isolated. And this is very important tool if you need to copy some parts, so you can isolate it first, then you can copy it. It's similar to lock the layers, but this is easier. And you can always choose the best way that you like. To unisolate the layer, you just click on this little icon here, unisolate, and that will bring it back. So unisolate will restore all layers that were hidden and bring it back. Then what else we have here? Freeze. If you click on the freeze, then you can freeze any parts that you want from the drawing by clicking on that. And freezing the layers is important when you have especially larger projects, because that will prevent loading the layer each time you open the drawing. So that will make it faster, easier to load. So if you're not using the layer, it's better than turning it off. It's just freeze it. Then to unfreeze, you go to the one underneath, as you see here, though all layers. So that will bring it back. So if you need to freeze, for example, these lines here and the names, if you need to freeze any labels, so you can just click on them. Okay, any columns or anything that you're not using so far and it's just making your drawing crowded, so just freeze it and you can unfreeze it later. When you finish, you hit enter or just escape button on the keyboard. Now we do have lock. We can lock any layer. You can lock the doors, and you see now the color is faded and you see a lock symbol on the top. Locking the layer is important to prevent any changes or modification by mistake. So lock it if it is the final thing. You don't need any changes to this layer, just lock it so you don't accidentally make any modifications or delete. Then you can unlock. You can click it and click on it again, so you see now it is you can modify it, it's not unlocked. Now the current layer is EF tier. If you need to change that to any other current layer, you can change it from here. But another way is to click on a layer and make it current. Okay, so that will make the door, for example, is current. Or if you need to make this current, click on make it current, and this is one of the fast ways. Match layer is a very important tool. We do have match properties, but this one only for layers. Okay, the match properties will match all the properties of the object, but this one exactly for the layers. So if we gonna click on match layer, you click on the objects that you need to change. Let's say that I need to change these doors, and I need them to go to the yellow. Okay, so when you select the object, you hit enter, and then you select the destination. So you move these two doors to the other layer. So this one is, let's see the name. Okay, the I door, and this is the EF door. Okay, so now these two move to the I door. If I need to bring them back to their layer, so I can do the same thing. I click on both of them, and this is match layer, and I bring on this one. So they are back to their layer. Or I can select them and select the layer from here to move them. But sometimes it's easier to walk through the drawing than using the layers, because it's hard to find the name here. So this is basically what we have. Also, if we need to pin, we have more tools down. The first tool on the left, previous, that will change the previous, will get back one step. So undo the last change or set of changes if you keep going. So let's keep going here. You'll notice that I am going back. So I unlocked, then locked the doors. So this one will undo steps. So it changes with the layers. Then we have here change to current layer. Change the layer property of selected objects to the current layer. So if the layer here, the current layer is EF tier, then I choose, I click on that and choose here this door, hit enter, so that will make it on the current layer EF tier. Now if you need to bring it back, you can undo the changes, or again you can make match layer, and for the match layer you can select these doors, hit enter, then match the door, and you can bring it, or you can just select the doors and bring the layer from here, just find it and move it. Or from the properties, Control-1, you can open the properties and change the layers. Actually, there are different ways, but I'm trying to focus on the layers group today. Now let's move on to the next tool. We have copy, this one. Here we'll copy the object to another layer, but we'll keep the one in the current layer. So if we click on it, as you see here, copy layer, select objects to copy. So let's select, for example, these two layers, and we need to copy them to the I door, the yellow layer. So I will select them. Let's select another one. So we have 3 doors. When we finish selecting, hit enter, then click on the layer of the doors, where the destination layer, where do you want to copy in. Now, when you finish, you hit enter, just specify base point. If you need to keep them on the same place, you just hit enter. Or if you need to move them to another place, you specify base point, and you can copy them in a different place in the layer. I'm gonna hit enter now to copy them in a place. As you notice here that the doors, the 3 doors now color yellow, which is the I door. But if I click on one of them and delete, I still have the one underneath. So I do have the copy and the existing one. Okay, so this will copy in a place, or copy if you decide where is the base point, you can move them to another place. Now let's move on to another tool, which is layer walk. Let's see here. If you click on the layer walk, that will open a table for you that will guide you through the layers. So if you click on any one, you will see the exact things drawn on this layer, and this is very important step just to audit your drawing, because sometimes by mistake we draw some objects on wrong layer, and to make sure that everything is organized well, you can see the layer walk and see that the same object or similar objects are drawn on the correct layer, like the doors, all the doors together, the windows, the furniture. So just to check, go over and check. After that, make sure to restore on exit, so you will get back the whole drawing. If you don't restore, you will get only the part that you selected. So checking restore will restore the drawing back to all layers. Then you close and you get it back. So this is the layer walk. Now, next to that, you will find the VP freeze, viewport freeze. This is actually something for the layout. Let me give you a little bit some information about this. I will move to the layout view and see now you have a viewport. I'm gonna delete that and insert 2 or 3 viewports there. So I will go to layout, rectangular, and from here I'm gonna draw 3 viewports. Okay, so just randomly, here you go. Okay, now as you see here, let's get back to the home tab, and you see from the layers, I'm gonna pin it with the viewports. If I double click on one of the viewports inside, just to open it, I'm gonna click on this one to freeze on the viewport, all viewport except current. So I'm gonna freeze something in these two, but it will stay on this current one. So click on that. I'm gonna freeze the chairs. Okay, so I will click on this chair. So what happened? That they are frozen on this. You don't see the chairs here. Okay, you don't see the chairs on that one, but you still see it on the current viewport. Let's do something else. I'm gonna freeze the walls, or these ones. On these ones, I'm gonna freeze several things. See, they are disappearing from all viewports. I'm gonna freeze this. It will disappear from all viewports. I'm gonna freeze this part here. Okay, so it disappeared from all viewports. It will no longer see it here, but it is still in the current. And this is the power of a freezing in all viewports, but it's still available in the current one. So this is something will help you with organizing the layout, the paper, and the printing. However, everything is a freeze and a viewport. You will find it in the model. So this part is a freezed in the layout and the viewport. But if you click on the model, they are still in the model space. Now the next tool is the merge. If you click on merge, you can combine 2 layers together. So merges select layers into target layer, removing the previous layers from the drawing. So this is a very good tool if you combine them together. You click on merge, for example, select object on layer to merge. Let's click, for example, this door, hit enter, then select an object target layer. So this is the one. Do you wish to continue? Yes. And here I moved and merged these 2 layers together. So I no longer have the eye door layer. It's merged into the other door. So this is a good way to clean up, organize your layers, and merge, combine the layers. If you do that by mistake, you can always undo. You enter or just undo, and they are back to the layers. The last thing here we have delete. If you click on delete, that will delete all objects on the layer and purge the layer. So if it's an unused extra layer, you can delete it. But even if it's a used one, you can delete the object and delete the layer. So if I need to delete a layer, you click on delete, you click on that one if you don't need it. So that will delete it. It no longer exists. You click yes, and so it no longer exists with the layers, and the objects are purged and deleted. So be careful about this, because it is deleting the layer and the object. you cannot delete it by right click from the layer properties if there are existing objects, but you can delete the objects and the layer from here. Now the locked layer fading, this is for locked layers. For example, if you lock any layer, for example here, I'm gonna lock this layer, okay, that will change the fading of the layer. As you see here, the larger the number is, the lighter the color. If you go down, it will be darker. If you go up, it will be lighter. Okay, so this layer is locked, and you can tell it's locked because you see that lock symbol. And if you need to manage the transparency of it, you can just move on the sliding up and down. So we've talked about all these features. Now I need to show you three more things: layer state, grouping, and filtering layers. Let's talk about this. We can create a new layer state. Let's see what does that mean. Now I'm gonna let's get everything, like all layers are on, okay, and I need to keep this layer state always. I need to find it, easy access to it, without going back and forth, turning on, turning off layers. That will take time, and when you have a project, clicking will take time, so we need to be more efficient. Let's see how we create layer state. With layer state, you can click on this little arrow, create new layer state, and give it a name. The name should be meaningful with description to know what you're doing. For example, here, all layers on. And here I can put any description. All the layers are on in this layer state, or just put more details. Now I will click OK. After that, I'm gonna go and freeze these layers. Okay, I will freeze this, freeze this, freeze this, freeze this. I'm gonna freeze labels. So I'm gonna freeze some of them. Hit enter when we finish. To keep this as a new state, I can click on this little arrow, new layer state, no doors or labels. Okay, freeze doors and labels, or just put more details for this description. You hit OK. Now what happened here, that I do have two layer state. The first one is all layers on, and the second one, no doors and labels. You can create more of them. Now let's move further and click on the layer properties. And you'll notice here that we do have several layers created. So one way to manage these layers is filtering. On the left side, you will find a new property filter, or Alt P. You can click on it to create a new filter. On the top here, you will find several columns, and you can filter according to any category you'd like. For example, let's see according to the name, and I put Control 8 to put the asterisk or this little star. This means any letter before. So if you need to find doors, notice here that I'll put two asterisks in between. I'll put door, and one asterisk means any letter before or any letter after at the end, and that will bring any word that has door. So here I have three layers with the door. I will give it a name, doors, and this is our first filter. So I'll click OK, and I clicked here door, and this is one of the filters I have. Then I can click on all to get it back, or doors to get the doors. Let's create one more filter. Click here, and I can get the locked one. So I just need the locked layers. Okay, and I will give it a name. Okay, locked. Okay, now you see that I have doors, I have locked, and I can get back to all. What happened now if I locked more layers? Let's say that I locked some of these layers, so not only one. and then I click on locked. So you see now the filter changed. If I added one layer and call it door, that will change. Let's create one more layer to show you how you can get by color. If I need to get all the magenta colors, okay, so you see here all the magentas colors, and you can give it a name, magentas, or any name that you feel it is good for you. So here you have 3 filters, okay, and you still have all, okay, you can navigate between them. Now another way to create a group. Now filter is not a group, it's you have everything, but you are filtering them according to your case. But a group will give you more ways to lock them all, change the color to all, change the line weight for all. So here you have different options. Let's see how we create groups. The first thing, you click on the little icon, new group or Alt G. Now click on that and you see it, you got a name. Let's make that furniture, for example. Okay, now I will click on all, then I'll bring anything to this. Let's see here, furniture, I'll bring it here. Okay, you can drag it and drop it. You can bring phones, okay, just a drag and drop. You can bring file cabinets or any others, case, head. So any groups you can, this is one way that you can create the groups, and but they are still here, we didn't filter them. Now if I click on the doors, and notice here that the symbol is different. This one is the symbol here is like a cone. This is for filter, however the other one is a group, it's like a folder. If you click on the furniture, you notice that you do have the layers that you put them in a group. Now the way that you put them in a group, you can change that, you can modify it. But let's say that I need to control them all. I can right click on it and then select all. I can turn them all off at one time. I can lock them. I can give them one color. I can change the color for them. I can change the line type if I need. So you can do different things right from the group. So this is easy way to control your layers. Now, if you need to delete one, you can right click and then you can delete the layer. You can rename the layer. You can set current, so you can do any of the things. If you have the doors selected, now you click exit. What you notice here, that you just have these layers as a group. Okay, so you can just control it from here as the doors. Also, if you have, let's get back here, if you have the furniture and then close, you do have the furniture layer, and notice that we changed everything to different colors. If you need still to change that, you can still do it, and if you get back to the group, you see that you do have this group. So here you have filter. Remember that anyone that you keep, let's say the magenta, for example, if you close, you will find this is the filter at the end. Okay, so if you need to get back to all layers, make sure you get to all and then you close. Now you do have all your layers. Finally, next to the filter property groups and the new group filter, you will find the layer state manager or Alt S. And remember that we did the layer state before from down here. Okay, so this is the same thing. You can access manage layer states or new layer states, you can access from here. Also, you can click on this little icon, layer state manager. Okay, you can modify, you can edit any of the states, and you see the states that we created before, the all layers on and no doors or labels. You can rename them, you can edit any of them. If you click on it, you can rename, you can edit. If you click on edit, you can just edit any of this. you can lock any layers, so you can make any editing save. Also, you can rename it if you'd like to change the layers name. Today in this video, we've talked about layers, more advanced tools, the basic tools in the other video in the description below. If you need to learn how to create layers, assign line types and colors, be sure to watch the previous video. And in this video, we've talked about the layer properties, how to use all these features in the layer group. Also, we created layer state, and we created a filter, new property filters, and new groups. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned new information and gained new skills today. If you liked the video, please click on the like button below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get notified when I publish new videos. Thank you again, and this is Dr. Abdul.